All right, here we go. We are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics, and we are going to be doing what most likely will be the last key comic that I will be getting for 2025. As of now, I don't foresee myself getting any more, but hey, you never know. Deals might be out there at the last second. But with Christmas time, probably people are not in a hurry to wait in long lines to get packages mailed out, or things may take longer to deliver. So who knows? But as of now, I mean, I have a bunch of boxes I haven't opened yet. This will be the probably the biggest one of them all. It's not a major key, but still a key, which is kind of ironic, and I'll explain that in a minute. But while I'm waiting for people to come in, if you want to critique the AI art, either positive or negative, just let me know. Let's give a shout out to my paid Patreon members. Newest member hasn't been put on there yet. Again, with my eye problem, I've been focusing on other things, especially with the holidays and everything, and getting ready for the auction that I'm doing tomorrow, which is Sunday the 14th at 3 p.m. So if you didn't know about that, I am doing a live comic book auction. Two of the books have already sold. So this is why I tell people it doesn't necessarily pay to take your chances and wait for the auction, because many times, and I've warned people every single time, like I say, 95 to 98% of the auction sales happen before or after the auction. So the X-Men 12 6.5 has been sold, and Fantastic Four number 49 4.0 have both been sold, so they will no longer be available for the auction. But all the other comics are still available. So you have until tomorrow at 3 p.m. to send me a message at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. If you watched the sneak peek video I did on Friday, which was yesterday, and if you make an offer that I think is fair, and the two people, their offers were definitely fair. If I accept it, you get it. And remember, payment plans and discounts and things will apply the same as it would be on the auction. So the advantages are you don't have to worry about missing the auction. You don't have to worry about getting into a bidding war and spending more than you really wanted to, or end up getting outbid altogether and end up not getting the comic. Also, keep in mind that even if you miss the auction, any unsold or unpaid for comics, people have up to 1 week after the auction is closed to be able to purchase any of the books still remaining by contacting me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. I have all the payment plans and everything, but I do things that no one else does. And remember, I am the first person on YouTube, as far as comics are concerned, that ever did an auction. So I'm the one that started it, and I do things that most don't. So we've got, um, let me just put this so I can see. I gotta enlarge the screen, unfortunately, because like I said, with that damage to my eye. We got Brian in the house that says, "Hey Chris, watching from home as a snowstorm is moving in near Cincinnati. Sorry to hear about that. Uh, Good thing about where I live in Florida, they've never had snow reach here ever. So if I never see another snowflake other than what's on TV, it will be too soon. Just be safe, and hopefully you'll stay nice and warm. But welcome, always appreciate the viewership, and the shout out to all of the people you see on the Patreon, and including, like I said, Brian Hood, who is the newest member. I just haven't added him yet, so I'm sure you will forgive me. If you want to become a Patreon member and support my channel, and remember, I say it all the time, probably 95% or more of the funds that come in go to contribute to helping me take care of all the stray animals that I take care of. They all get fixed, so they're not continuing to, create more problems. I pay for their food, water, vet bills. I had to take one to the vet the other day. He has low white blood cell counts because he has feline AIDS, but we're taking care of him the best we can. So the majority of your funds actually go towards a good cause of helping animals, and it's definitely appreciated. So, also the advantage of becoming a paid Patreon member, when I do my auctions, you guys know I do normally a sneak peek video a week before. It was just different this week because we're getting close to Christmas, and I want people to have the opportunity, if they pay in full, to be able to get the comic before Christmas. But any paid Patreon member gets access to the list of what I'm going to be selling before even the sneak peek video comes out. So you have the availability to be able to get any of those books before anybody else even knows which books are being sold. So it doesn't matter what amount you contribute. Join at patreon.com/slash We Love Comics and take advantage of that. Luke is here. Let's see what he says. Hey, Chris, from time to time, I know you buy things outside from comics. Have you ever considered buying into Pokemon cards? The reason I wouldn't, and I haven't, is I know nothing about Pokemon. So I could have the rarest card in known to man, and I would have no idea anything about it. I'm not really into the Pokemon stuff. I was never into like anime kind of cartoons and stuff like that. So if I was to spend a lot of money on something, because Pokemon cards, especially ones that are going to be valuable, are going to be very expensive. And if I don't know what I'm doing, I wouldn't get into it. But that's why I tell people if you're going to collect something, make sure you know about it. Because, like I said, I could buy a very expensive pack of Pokemon cards and sort through them and would have no idea the difference between a common card that's worth nothing and a card that could be worth $1,000. So I kind of stick with the things I know. And I honestly, at my age at 55, I really don't want to start learning all I need to know about Pokemon. But that doesn't mean it's not a bad collection or not worthwhile. It's just something I never got into. I guess I was too old when that really came out, so I really was never into it. But hey, the good thing is, people like me and probably many others that are not into Pokemon means if you are, that's less competition for you if you want to buy something. And if you have expertise in that field, you're going to know what's worth something and what's not. So if that's your cup of tea, stick with it and have fun with it. All right, so let's put this Patreon giveaway. If I get to 20 paid members in any given month, I got giveaways. You could pause that. We'll do a raffle. I'll ship anywhere around the world and I will pay for the shipping. And for every $2 you contribute, you'll get an entry. So what happens is if we ever get to 20 paid members, I take all the paid members, put them on a spinning wheel, and for every $2 you contribute, you will get one entry. So the more you contribute, the more chances you get to win. So again, patreon.com/slash We Love Comics. Just really quick for the auction tomorrow, you could pause that. Auction rules, you could pause that, especially if you're planning on being in the auction or potentially participating. There are payment plans for the auction for tomorrow. And again, it's 3 p.m. Eastern time. So you could pause that. And now for what everybody's been waiting for. Now, this isn't a graded comic. It's just one, it's a Silver Age comic. Let's see if anybody can guess. Oh, this tape came right off. Let's see if anybody can guess of it's a book I already have. I have a few copies of. It's a Silver Age comic. Let's see if anybody can guess what they think it might be by placing it either in the live chat or if you're watching this later on. Let me put it in a grocery bag. There you go. So I guess shout out to Walmart. Put it in the comment section once it uploads. What comic you might think this is, and then we'll see what kind of price you would have paid for it and the deal I got. So this person went above and beyond. Like I always tell people, when you buy, especially on eBay or even, if you buy from people you don't know on Instagram or Facebook Marketplace or any place, don't assume that they know or care how to ship packages. So I always make sure when I win a comic, I message them and say, "Hi, would you mind if you could put extra protection to keep this comic secure?" And I explain how I would prefer it. Now, that doesn't guarantee they'll do it, and they might not even listen at all, but it increases the chances of them listening, and many do. And like I said, this is just one single comic, and that person put it in cardboard. They put an additional backing board for a little bit more support. They put it in a bag, which really doesn't do much, but it's still it's an effort, and then put it in a big box. So it does pay to ask. The worst they can do is ignore you or say no. But if you don't ask, you know, don't ask, don't tell. All right. So let's take a look. Now, this is a lower grade of this book, but it does not matter. Say it with me. What is my slogan? Who's the first person to guess what it is? This is probably about a 2.0, maybe a 2.5, which is perfectly fine. I definitely paid under what the going rate is, and as usual, I will tell you what the price is, including shipping and handling and taxes. So I'm just going to write the price on the back because I always keep track of the prices that I pay. So the price that I will give you is what I paid, including shipping and handling and eBay taxes. So let's see if anybody guessed what they think it might be. Now, Luke says that I was the same kids got me into it. Yeah, that's the advantage of having children. I have no children, so I'm the only child in the house. Brian says Mark Jewelers. That would be close, but I meant a specific book. But that's somebody that's paying attention. So Brian, very good at that. But it's not a Mark Jewelers, believe it or not. Give us a clue. Reveal a corner. All right, I can do that. Let's see. Because if I give one specific corner, all right, let's see how much we can reveal. Okay, base it on that. Let's see if anybody can guess what comic this is based on just that amount of the cover. So I'll give, in case there's a delay, let's see if anybody can guess. I'll give like 30 seconds. Brian got it right. Low grade is better than no grade, a slogan that I came up with. So let's give it a second. Let's see, based on what I just showed you on the cover, let's see, because this actually is helpful. Because if you are looking through eBay at either just listed books or ones that are ending now, you could scroll quickly. And if you see a cover that you know is a key book, like a Hulk 181, for example, if you know it as soon as you see it, you don't have to be reading each and every one. That takes forever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever. So, Luke got it right. Very nice job. So it is Fantastic Four number 49, which of course is one of the books I just sold. So I just replaced it basically instantly. I already have a couple other copies, but still, this is not a bad book, especially when the movie did not do as well as it should have. Thanks, Marvel, DC, and Hollywood for continuing agendas over actual what comic fans want. But even with the prices going down, I still paid under what this is worth. So it's got color break increases. You can see it's got one all the way up and down. So if everything else was perfect, even though that wouldn't be considered a subscription crease, a crease that would go all the way down like that would mean the maximum grade this could get would be a 5.0 if everything else was perfect. Now you can see this book has been read over the years, so it is not perfect, but it is intact. Obviously, I'll have to check it. But you can see no major tears. The colors still look very good. It's just all along there. Like when you see something like that, that means people probably read it multiple dozens of times. So, in my opinion, this is between a 2.0. Maybe it could hit a 3, but I would say realistically between a 2.0 and a 2.5. You can share your opinions of what you think the grade would be. Obviously, you'd have to check the whole book, but just based on the cover, again, you could see. Now, it might look a little faded, but this is an old bag, so I can always switch that. Let's see what you would have paid for it. Now, what I want you guys to do, if you want to learn how to do these things quickly, so this way, like I was saying before about the Pokemon and me not knowing it, knowledge is power. So if you see a book like this just listed and you see it for a certain price, is it too expensive to even be looking at it at all? Is it a super deal that you need to pounce on quick? Or is it somewhere where it's a decent price but worth buying? So knowing about it is the best way to go. And Luke, I agree. He says, I prefer this cover over 48. Now, obviously, this is the second appearance of Galactus, but his first full appearance, because the first appearance is 48, but it's a cameo. Second appearance of the Silver Surfer, but first time on the cover. This is, in my opinion, better looking cover because it's more colorful. It's got better detail than 48. But I'd love to hear your opinions. Do you prefer 48 or 49? Put that in the comment section. But what would you have paid for this if you saw it? If you saw it as a newly listed book, buy it now. What would be the highest price you would have paid and said, that is a good deal for that comic? I'm not going to wait. So you can either guess or you can go and look up, for example, Fantastic Four number 49. Look up a 2.5, because that's honestly, I think, what the grade is going to be. Look up a 2.5, find out the lowest one that was sold, so you'll have an idea of what you would have paid. So Luke says maybe 200 ish. Now, that tells me, Luke, that you're guessing and not looking it up. I want people to get used to knowing and not guessing. Because, for example, if you say maybe 200 and this was listed at 300, well, you're going to say, well, that's $100 more than I should be paying for it. If you look up what a 2.5 sells for, you will see that 200 is a very low price, even with the movies not doing well with this book. But you never know. So Punisher says he would pay up to 400. So if you saw it, buy it now for 400, let's assume it's free shipping. Taxes vary between states, but it averages about 6%. So 10% of 400 is 40. So this would roughly be about 22 to $23 if I can calculate off my head in extra taxes. So you'd pay $422, which absolutely is about what the price of this book in about a 2.5 would go for. So you'd be paying about what it is. So here's what I paid. Because you guys know me, I don't buy something unless there's a deal. Now, this was a buy it now best offer. It was listed for maybe a minute when I saw it. Because as I tell people, I have videos that share my trade secrets. And one of them is I will constantly look at newly listed books. I won't specifically type any specific comic. I will type in the word comics. And then I will put the price range that I'm looking for because I don't want to see a $100,000 comic that I can't afford. And I don't want to see like $10,001 comics that I have to sort through. So I put the price range that I'm looking for. I do literally every 30 seconds, I will refresh. So when something new lists and I know if it's a good deal, I pounce on it. So here's what I paid for this with shipping and handling and with eBay taxes. I paid a grand total of $130.27 for this book, which shows I could easily sell this right now if I wanted to for $300 and more, almost triple my money. But what I would always do is I always get books graded. So this way, I don't like to sell raw books because I would feel bad even if I didn't know it. Like if it had color touch and I didn't know about it, because, I'm not a professional grader. I can't find all those things. But if I sold a raw comic and somebody went to get it graded, came back restored, I would feel bad. So I always get them graded. But let's say it came back a 2 or 2.5, or let's say it even comes back a 3, because that's not out of the realm of possibility. I got this for about a 1.0 price. So I want to constantly remind people that deals are out there. Now, I got this only a week ago, right before Christmas. Looking on Christmas Day, you'd be amazed at the deals you'll get because people are celebrating with their families or on vacation. They're not usually checking eBay. So if you have a free moment and you want to escape from your family, or you have to work and you have access to the internet, like some of my viewers do, or you're just going to be by yourself for whatever reason or whatever, go check on a holiday. You'd be amazed at the deals you could find. But $130 with shipping and handling. So this was a buy it now. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the auction. It actually was a ended soon. Endings that I found this one on. My apologies. So there were actually 33 bids, and I won it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I looked at I won it at 130 with shipping and handling and taxes. I paid 144.97. So I want to make sure I am transparent. I was actually looking at just the auction and I just wrote down the price, but that was what I wanted for. So I actually paid, which is even still an amazing price for this book. So $14 more basically than what I was saying. So I assumed it was a buy it now because that price that low, I didn't think that, so I didn't even check it, but it was an auction. So people actually bid for this when I won it for $130, and then adding the shipping and handling and taxes, it came out to 144.97. So I just changed it. But again, people would pay between 300 and 400 for this book. So that made it even better than a newly listed, because a newly listed at that price would mean somebody really didn't know what they were selling or didn't care and just wanted to get some cash. The fact that I actually won that in an auction that was ending shows that there are just people who don't know how to bid or don't know the value of books. So that's why I tell people, don't assume a price, don't guess a price. Know about approximately what the price range is and make sure you don't overspend, because as much as there are people who want this book, like for example, and I won't say who did it, who bought it, but my Fantastic 449 and the 4.0, somebody bought. They actually didn't own a copy and they wanted one. So now they were able to acquire it, but they didn't overspend. They didn't say, "Oh, I'll give you $1,200 for it," because they were willing to pay anything to get it. This book may be desirable to people, but it is not so rare that you'll see one every 10 years. So if you see one and you're like, I want it, don't overpay for it because of that fear of missing out and saying, oh, it's there. I have the money. I want to bid right now. Wait for deals, make deals happen, and you'll be happier. Yes, it's great to pay to get something you want, especially if you have the funds, but it's even better to get what you want and have the funds and still pay less. So you can use the extra funds to maybe buy something more that you also wanted. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'd love to hear what you think. Again, I'd love to hear what you think the grade is, in your opinion. Obviously, this is just basing it on the cover. You could see there's some little color breaks on the bottom. There's some color breaks along there. That's very indicative to people who are reading it. There's no spine splits or anything, but like I said, there's that color breaking line that pretty much goes all the way up. So I would say this is between a 2 and a 2.5. Like I said, it might get a 3, but I don't think so. But it's not out of the realm of impossibility. It's not like, a 9.6 or something would absolutely be out of the realm of possibility. But a 3 could happen, but I would say most likely between a 2 and a 2.5. But again, for the price I paid, absolutely worth it. Deals are out there. You just got to hunt, but you got to know what you're doing, because that's why, like, for example, that question before, I will not do the Pokemon cards because I know nothing about them. So I would have no idea if I saw an auction what price I should pay, what would be too much, and what was a steal. So stick with what you know, learn about your passion, and you'd be amazed at how much better you'll be at not only acquiring the comics you want, but acquiring them at better, cheaper prices to save your money so you can buy more things or buy, you know, pay for bills or maybe get your boyfriend or girlfriend a nice little present. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. I hope you will check out the auction tomorrow. It is at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember, watch the sneak peek video I did yesterday if you want to see all of the books that are still available. Again, two books have already been sold, which is Fantastic Four number 49 and X-Men number 12. So all the other books are still available. You can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And if you make a fair offer on any of them before 3 p.m. tomorrow, that comic never sees the light of day in the auction. So go check it out. And if you are going to be at the auction, if you know anybody that likes to buy comics or might be interested in getting a Christmas present for somebody, if you let them know about my auction tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, it'd be really appreciated. Because remember, this is how I pay my bills, and also the majority of the funds that go towards taking care of all of the stray animals that I take care of. So Pete, you made it in just at the end. So we're gonna give a shout out to all the people that came into the live chat. So Pete, you just made it. So Pete, Luke, Punisher, and let's see, Brian. I think that's everybody, but let's double check. Yes, you are all today's surprise subscriber shout outs. So you guys have all been here long enough to know what to do. So once the video uploads, you can leave a comment and share your link to your YouTube channel if you have one, a link to your social network if you prefer to do that instead. Or if you have an eBay store, Amazon store, Instagram store, you can do that link instead. I'll leave that up to you guys. Just make sure everything has to be kid friendly and suitable for all audiences. So all links will first go into spam so I can verify them. This prevents any trolls or anybody from putting inappropriate links onto my channel. So if you do see a link in the comment section, it means I did check it and I did approve it. So go support my fellow comic book collaborators in whatever links that they promote. So thanks so much, everybody. I really hope you enjoy your day. I look forward to doing the auction tomorrow. And remember, even if you miss the auction, any unsold comics or any comic that was not paid for, you have up to 1 week after the auction closes to be able to contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com and purchase any of them at the prices, whatever they were listed at. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know what you think about this purchase. Would you have paid that price? Do you think I overpaid? Share with me 48 or 49. Which cover do you prefer? And don't forget, it is not you, it is not I. It is We Love Comics. If I don't see you tomorrow and I don't see you the rest of the year, have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and to everybody else, forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.